Hey YouTube, this is Alexander, and today I've got a video that I'm really excited about. So since I recently started up my lighting game, I decided it was time for something a little more high-end than the old strip-in bulbs that I had, and that's where LIFX comes in. Now if you haven't heard of them, they're a relatively new company that makes smart bulbs that you can control from your phone, tablet, or computer. But before we get started, I want to give LIFX a shout out for shipping out the light strip at a reduced cost, but I also want to note that everything else was purchased by me at full retail price. Anyway, let's get right on into it. So you may be thinking that LIFX is basically like Philips Hue, and that was a decision I had to make when first deciding who to go with, but unlike Philips Hue, LIFX products don't require any central hub, which is perfect for my setup. Plus, it makes setup that much easier, not having to worry about finding a spot for the hub if space is limited, as it was in my case. Speaking of setup though, setting the bulbs up or strips is actually really seamless. In either case, you just screw it in or plug it in, open the LIFX app, find the light's Wi-Fi signal, find the light in the app, select which Wi-Fi network you want the light to connect to, enter the Wi-Fi password, put your bulb in a group or name it, and you're all set to go. From there you get a ton of options inside the app, including the option to customize which color the light emits if you picked up something with color. LIFX does also sell some less expensive but still Wi-Fi connected white bulbs that allow you to choose from a variety of different temperatures. This is what I've got up in my ceiling fan, and I've actually really liked it. But getting back to what you can do with lights, inside the app you'll notice all your lights, any groups you may have, scenes, and schedules. So I've got 3 different groups for the 3 different areas where I've got a light, which makes controlling the different sections super easy, but I can also see this working really well if you've got some lights in a living room or kitchen and some in a bedroom, and you want to be able to control each set individually. You can also set these scenes, which allow you to quickly turn the lights on to a specific set of colors or brightness levels with the push of a button, and schedules allow you to have the lights turn off, on, or to a certain scene you've set up at a specified time when it detects your home, or even when the sun rises. I use this last feature to help get me up in the morning by having my lights turn on to a bright white whenever I need to get up. Getting into each individual option is a bit more fun though. So I've got this dresser bulb here in my lamp, and changing the color, saturation, and brightness is all pretty easy with this wheel and slider. I can just slide to set which color I want and how saturated I want it, as well as how bright it's going to be. And if you want something a little closer to white, you can always turn the saturation to basically 0%, but it will give a slight cast of whatever color I'm on. For whites though, there's another tab which allows you to choose from a ton of different white values and set the brightness at whatever you'd like. The next tab has some themes, which are kind of nice with just one bulb, although you can get much more out of the theme with more colored lights. So here I've got my LIFX Z strip, and if I click my home instead of on an individual light and select the scene that I want, I'll get much more out of it. However, something special with the strip is the option to set regions of the strip to specified colors from the themes tab. So you'll see some presets here, and if I just tap and hold on it, I can drag it to where I want it to be on the strip and eventually have a custom look. However, I do wish I could flip the ends of the strip on the app, since right now the right side controls the left side of the strip and vice versa, but it's not a big deal. Just make sure to pay attention when you're setting it up to avoid that problem. Oh, and the 3M adhesive has only been here for a few hours since I just installed these lights super early in the morning, but everything seems just fine. Just make sure to carefully plan out where you want it, and be sure not to lift it and try to reapply it, otherwise you may end up weakening the adhesive, as I did on one of the ends. Lastly, there's an effects tab which has quite a few different effects to choose from. Now, I don't see myself using these very often, but they're nice to have built right inside the app in case you're maybe having a party or something and you want a certain scene or look. So is LIFX the best lighting option around? Well, given the fact that you can accomplish essentially the same thing as our direct competitor Philips without a bulky bridge, I'd have to say yeah, at least for someone like me. Sure, Philips has a wider selection of lighting options, but given how long LIFX has been around, how quickly they're growing, and how seamless the experience is, I'd have to say they're doing something right. Anyway, that's been it. That was a look at what LIFX has to offer, and if you're looking to get into the smart lighting scene, I'd highly recommend giving LIFX a look. Oh, and now that my setup is complete, I can finally start working on my setup tour that I've been mentioning, so definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that when it drops, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.